of the Witch. All right, hey, it's Rob, and I'm just going to do a real quickie improvised guitar tutorial on Donovan's Season of the Witch. How it's basically played as far as what I hear on the record. Simple song, just 3 chords, but there's a little more to it than that. I saw someone cover it on YouTube, and they did a nice job, but wasn't exactly correct, so I thought I'd help out here a little bit. And I didn't see anybody else teaching it the correct way, although I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there if I really looked around. This is mine. So I learned this song from my guitar teacher way back in the 80s, and even back in the 80s, I was into Donovan from the 70s and the 60s. Donovan is great. If you don't know his stuff, his early folk finger-picking stuff, really good, solid songs. He got compared to Dylan. He was looked upon as kind of like a Dylan light, like a less important, less talented version of Dylan, but I don't know. Lots of people were playing, folk songs back then and doing finger picking. I don't know that it was fair to pick on Donovan. And his early songs are great. His later, more hippy-dippy stuff and more psychedelic stuff as he got in the 70s. Even got into some disco stuff in the late 70s. I like all of it. I think Donovan's fantastic. I'd love to see him in concert. I never have. And hopefully it's not too late. Anyway, so Season of the Witch, a creepy song for Halloween that just passed. And I'll show you how to play it now. Basic chords are an A. You've got a D. But sometimes that D is a D7. And a D7, of course, is like the backwards version of D. So instead of picking your D here, you're going to move your fingers around. You're going to put your second finger on the A, your first finger on the C, and your third finger on the F sharp. You're adding that 7th degree of the scale. Of course, the 7th degree is a C, which is why I'm picking a C down here. I don't have it in the D major because it's not a D7th. Anyway, that's your music theory lesson for today. So the song starts off with like a kind of scratched, kind of chunked chords with a lot of muting and palming and, kind of just when you're just holding the strings down and not making any kind of noise. Not going to get into that too much. Hopefully you can figure out just by how I do it. So you're going to play an A. I usually play it, because I'm lazy now, with my first finger as a bar. And that's how you play the A. Of course, you can also play it with your 3 fingers here. And so the intro is you hit the chord. And then you're going to kind of mute out, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. You can also play a little bit of the chord, like that, however you think it sounds good. Second chord you're going to go into is sort of an A, sort of a D with an F sharp. It's kind of a weird hybrid chord. So you got your A. And you're basically going to nail that low F sharp. And on the record, I hear him adding, or whoever played this, Jeff Beck played a lot of his guitar, adding the pinky, the D note on the 2nd string, while holding down the A. So you're making like an A sus chord. It's just kind of suggested. It's barely in there, but basically it sounds like. And then. So you can play the A and then add that pinky there. It's kind of what it sounds like. It's just a little 2-bar short intro thing. Not a big deal. Remember to hold down that low F sharp underneath the A. So A with an F sharp in the bass, or almost like an A sus with an F sharp in the bass. And once again, F sharp, holding down A bar chord with your 3rd finger, adding the pinky on the D. Or some variation of that. Not that important, like I said, it goes by very fast in the song. The main body of the song that I want to teach you is A. But what he does is he takes off his 2nd finger. Sorry to do that to you. But when he plays the chord, he plays, which means he's going from an A to an A7. That's exactly what's happening. So he's playing. And I'm doing a little strumming thing where I'm hitting kind of just basically the open A note and not much more. And then I'm going A, hitting the A chord, coming up, and with an upstroke, and then my downstroke is, now you're going to hear the A7. Na na na, na na na, down, down, up, down. That's basically what it is. Your mileage may vary. So your A is A, you're going to hear A7. Now when I go to my D, again, I'm going to have my low F sharp holding down there with my thumb. They tell you, of course, always have your thumb on the back of the neck. Don't wrap it over, but a lot of times that low note that you're going to pick with the thumb is very useful. That's the chord you're going to have. So you're going to have a D7 with an F sharp in the bass. Of course, F sharp is in the chord of D. It's just you're accenting that F sharp and playing it along with the D7 chord. Now this D7 chord, you're going to remove and then replace the C note. So how about that? So you're going to have your D7, you're going to take off your C, you're going to put it back on. So the whole progression is... He also on the record just goes, that's easier for you, then don't hammer it back on at the end. I hear it both ways in the record, so I'm just doing it the way that I'm comfortable doing it, which is playing the... So that's the basic chordal pattern for the verse. The chorus is a, oh no! Now he doesn't play a D7. I think he just plays a D with the F sharp in the bass. Oh no! Must be the E7. Season of the A. D sharp, F7 in the bass. Must be the season of the A. Must be the season of the witch. It's kind of more a song that you feel than that you learn, by rote. There's some interesting, kind of strumming and pausing in there. It's even hard for me to explain what it is. And. There's different ways to accent those different chords, but just know that you're trying to get the A to the A7, and then switch to your D7, and then remove that 7th degree, the C, and then put it back. Low F sharp. And there's Season of the Witch for you. All right, in under 10 minutes. That's probably a record from me. All right, later.